Action.
Okay. Hi, my name is Natalie Kleiner. This is my FXR, or what's left of it at the moment. I spent a lot of time and energy into making it the way I want it to be. And we were rolling back from Born Free. Last day of Born Free, it was Sunday afternoon. And we were ripping home, just like having a blast. It was a great day. It was beautiful out, a lot of time with good friends and stuff. And we're just ripping back. And I was riding next to Maddie, and I was trying to rip on it pretty hard and beat him. And I beat him just by a little bit, but I did. Anyways, we were coming off of a red light, and then all of a sudden I'm rolling, and I hear like this and I'm like, oh shit, you know, so I'm like immediately clutch, brake, pull over to the side of the road and shut it off as quick as possible. And I knew like right away from the sound of it, something was bad. Like it was not good. And so I pull over, and like I see Maddie kind of pull off, and then I see Joe, who was with us too. He pulled over quick, and they came running up, and they're like, what's going on? And I'm like, dude, I don't know, it's making this awful noise. And I think it was Maddie tried to start it up again and like listen to the sound, and it was bad. And I could tell by their faces too. They're like, that doesn't sound good, you know? And they're like, well, you're gonna need a tow truck for sure. And I was like, oh shit, that means it's really bad. And anyways, so then Maddie was like, I'll just go grab my truck, we'll load it up. And I was like, well, can we bring it back to your garage, because this is normally where I come, where I need things done anyway. So he was like, totally, we got it, you know. They loaded it up, and they were super helpful. I think they could tell I was pretty bummed out. And we got it back here, and it was a couple nights later, I think, Maddie had tore it down and then saw that it was pretty bad. Or yeah, so actually the way it went was we were tearing it down from the top end, and like couldn't find anything wrong with it, and then kept going farther down, and then I was like, shit, the farther down we go, I know that's probably pretty bad. And we got down to the point where you could tell it was like where the crank pin, you know, you go to turn it, and only one side is turning, and the other side is just kind of like barely moving. And Maddie was like, well, it's your crank pin. And then we started going through all these different options. Like, okay, you can totally rebuild it. You can get a rebuilt motor. You could get a brand new motor. Like, these are all your different options that you have. And it was just like overwhelming at the time. I was just like, holy shit, like what do I do? And I'm the type of person where I need to really analyze all my options, like what makes the most sense for me personally, what makes the most sense like financially for the bike. And between Matt and Jeff, you guys both were super helpful in like giving me ideas and options and resources. And then basically everyone I talked to, including these two guys, were like, well, if I were you, I would just probably go for a 111, and here's why. And because for one, it'd be a super rad motor. And for two, if I just put something new in, it would then avoid any problems later on down the road, versus putting something rebuilt in. I could just have more issues come up, and it'd just be a pain in the ass. And I didn't want to deal with that, especially having to go through the headache, the time, the money, the energy, and everything. So anyways, we kind of started just looking into ideas, and then we decided to look into S&S, because we knew that they made a great 111, and it's blacked out to match this beauty. And I knew that it would just be something that could really rip, and I could ride long distances and not have to worry about, you know, can it handle just going down the highway at like 90 solid for a while, you know? And Am I gonna have issues with it breaking down later? Hopefully not, you know? But it was just, I felt like it was the best option to go for. Plus, it would just bring my bike to just that much better of a level.